Hi there. So now we are putting our focus on a state that we all love. A state that is really small with, voters just close to our 18 lakhs, but a state whose politics is really complicated, where you see a lot of defections, you see a lot of cash power, you see a lot of money power, and a state whose per capita income is 3 times larger than the rest of the country. The state is rich, but you have political parties offering freebies to the voters here. Yes, we are talking of the state of Goa. Now, as I said, the state is cosmopolitan. The literacy rate here is really high. So the state divided between North Goa, South Goa. That's how it's largely been. Now, North Goa has 19 seats. Total seats here are 40. North Goa has 19 seats where you have 76% Hindu population, 16% Christian population, and this is what borders the state of Maharashtra. Now, if you come down south, this is where you have 21 seats, 53% Hindus, 36% Christians. This is the part which borders the state of Karnataka. Again, you have seen the fight largely here between the BJP and the Congress, but do not forget the MGP, the Goa Forward Party, also a lot of independents. The independents here actually are very valuable because not just they come with a lot of cash, lot of money, power, but as I said, a state that is really small, a state whose constituencies are also equally smaller, with just about say 35 to 40,000 voter. So this is where each candidate actually personally gets to know each and every voter. This is why this is very hyper local if you talk of the politics per se. Now, this does have some bit of religious polarization that we have seen of late. Different issues that are being raised by different political parties. The AAP is also fighting these elections. The TMC is also in the fray, though the TMC, remember the first time they contested elections here was in 2012. That is the year that they made a debut. They got just close to about 2% vote share. The AAP also debuted here in the state in 2017. Many say here again that the Aam Aadmi Party could become a serious player in the state of Goa. But as I said, is the AAP also, vying for the same vote like the Congress? Because both the Congress and the AAP here seem to do better in the South Goa constituency versus the North Goa. North Goa again is said to be the stronghold of the BJP. There are a lot of numbers and data that can actually help you understand that, but there is also a larger game of independence. A lot of time what happens here is that different political parties, whether that is the BJP or the Congress, they do not put their own candidates. Rather, they go out and support independent candidates. So that is how also elections are fought in this entire state. Manohar Parrikar was a stalwart in the state. Someone who actually did change the politics in the state because the BJP till then was called a right-wing party. But then you have seen that very tactic alliance that they had with the churches. Something which changed that entire perception. The BJP did better, though they also did get the support of the MGP then. But here the entire battle of is the party important or the candidate important, remember, gets settled in the favor of the candidate. And why? Because again, there are smaller constituencies, so the candidates hold more sway here. Now, this is a state where beef eating, you would recall again, you've seen the BJP speaking against this in the rest of the country apart from the Northeast. But here, beef eating has been an integral part of the culture. So that is also how politics in the state of Goa is largely different from the politics that you see national parties use and play outside Goa. One more thing briefly that I want to tell you here is if there is a vote split, that is how the BJP can win the state. And that is what the BJP is hoping. Now, if you recall, Rahul Gandhi was in Goa campaigning a little while earlier, where he said that The real fight here is between the BJP and the Congress. So he was telling the voters that, listen, do not vote for any other political outfit because they will only act as a spoiler. Vote for the Congress, because he said the real fight is between the BJP and the Congress. So that is how sensitive the politics in Goa is. And as I said, it's very complicated because there are tons of names of, MLAs, of netas who are with a particular political party in the morning, and by the evening you realize that they have already jumped the ship. They have joined some other political outfit. And independents obviously hold a lot of sway here, but the AAP is trying to say that the AAP model of governance could be replicated in the state of Goa. It does talk about a lot of corruption here. And what are the issues here? Because, the issues here again are very different from what you see in the Hindi heartland. Because you do see a lot of tourist influx here. So there are issues of the environment. There are basic issues of sustenance here. There are issues of job, of the economy that people really speak about here. And I think it's a very interesting battle, because in a state that is the richest state by their per capita income, you still have parties like the TMC and the Aam Aadmi Party talking about freebies to the voters. Let's see where this election goes. The state might be small, but do remember, a chief minister there will enjoy more powers than what the chief minister in Delhi does. He will have total control. And again, as I said, the story of a Congress Mukt Bharat, will we see that happening in the state of Goa, or will you see the Congress regaining some ground? Because do not forget, in the last elections, the Congress had more number of seats. They were closer to a majority. But then, we all know the BJP formed the government. So how will March 10th deal with the state of Goa, which again could be the larger headlines out of the state? Watch this space.